Cars. They're everywhere, aren't they? In the space of 100 years or so, since the production of the first car to run on fossil fuels, we now have around 600 million cars roaming our streets worldwide, with the number set to double by 2030. Assuming that each car creates approximately 5,200 kilograms of carbon dioxide annually, this amounts to a pretty big number. 3 billion tons of carbon dioxide released into the Earth's atmosphere per year. That's enough weight to equal 520 Great Pyramids of Egypt, not to mention the other side effects of having such a massive emission in our atmosphere, such as reduced air quality, global warming, and all that. But what about the people who drive them? It's not easy to admit, but sometimes we can be a little car happy when it comes to getting around, using our cars for every single journey we might encounter. We might fall into the transport trap of trips being short enough to use the car, it's only 2 minutes, and long enough to use the car, over an hour I'll need the car for sure. Although you might not be able to control how often you use your car, you are in control of who uses your car. What does that mean? With 3 passengers riding in every 2 cars per trip, where a car can easily support up to 5 passengers, it seems that the world has not yet tapped into the full potential offered by this communal system of transport. A quick search for ride-sharing on Bing reveals up to 9.2 million hits, a sure sign that interest is picking up, and with the steadily rising oil prices which peaked to $120 a barrel in 2008, there surely must be some incentive among the public to find ways of cutting down on fuel bills. Public carpooling, in theory, solves the problem, and takes the idea of ride-sharing among friends to a whole new level. But as any manager would tell you, coordinating people who have known each other for years is already a nightmare, let alone people who have never met. The public factor brings in a whole lot of difficult questions such as, is it safe? Or why should I do it? Or what's in it for me? Many groups have tried addressing the above questions, each in their own way. Taking a peek at the competition, we found that other ride-sharing sites relied heavily on a website as the main, and in most cases the only, medium of communication between drivers and passengers. They were not easy to use, which is a put-off for most people unaccustomed to using computers on a regular basis, and apart from a few lines of text on the screen, guaranteed neither safe passage nor turn-up. In order to make full use of this ever-growing phenomenon, the world requires a solution which is relatively hassle-free, and revolves mainly around the user's personal experience and taste. PoolMe is a system developed by 4 IT students with that aim in mind, to make ride-sharing safe, simple and sustainable. We have made abundant use of the technologies provided by Microsoft, some 15 in all, to come up with a solution that puts to rest all the misgivings we had with other systems. It is split up into 3 main elements: a website, coded in ASP.NET MVC, tablet PC clients, positioned strategically at main bus stops in towns and cities, coded in WPF, and a Windows mobile application. The website is geared towards passengers and drivers alike. However, the tablet PC is centered around passenger use, while the mobile is inclined towards drivers. Safety was another one of our main challenges. How can we design a system that ensures maximum security for both passengers and drivers? We are all aware of the possible dangers that may arise from taking lifts with strangers, or bringing them into your own private space. Although diligence is advised at all times, we have taken steps to ensure that both parties' information is withheld until strictly needed, while displaying enough to give a general idea of what that person might be like. To cater for any second thoughts, both parties have an abort button on their respective device, which they can use to cancel the rideshare. Also, creating an account from the tablet PC requires a picture to be taken. We also had to provide some sort of incentive to keep the system as self-sufficient as possible, paying off running costs while giving back as much to the community as possible. In order to achieve this, we have devised a system of points, aptly named passenger points, which are awarded to drivers who successfully give lifts to passengers and can be redeemed for various gifts and vouchers. To also make PoolMe a viable sponsorship candidate with corporations and businesses, we have placed an advert system within each of our 3 devices, which displays periodical advertisements within selected stages of operation. PoolMe also provides statistics pertaining to the most commonly used routes, which can be downloaded for free for use by authorities to better plan public transport and similar amenities. Statistics are anonymous and are only used to give away general trends. In our system, one feature we definitely wanted to implement was ad hoc ride sharing. For instance, how would our passengers be able to cope if their assigned driver dropped out at the last minute, just before rush hour? Through PoolMe, it's as simple as going to a nearby terminal, logging into the system using your fingerprint, and choosing where you want to go. The system takes care of the rest, using Windows services to match up drivers and passengers lying along the same path, and synchronizing communication between the 2. That way, the driver does not see a problem giving a lift, since there will be no major deviation from the original route, while gaining something in return from providing a service to a fellow citizen. By means of our interactive website, users can manage account points, plan future routes, change settings and cars, and also display profile information, such as lifts given and carbon emissions saved. A rating mechanism we have installed will ensure that bad drivers and passengers are left to their own devices, sparing you the trouble of spending an hour with someone you don't want to be with. The mobile makes use of GPS tracking to calculate the driver's position and find lifts en route to their destination. Upon starting the trip, the driver enters the desired destination and can choose to follow the map provided on the screen. Once the user is detected to be in the vicinity and wanting to go in the same direction, a notification automatically appears, and the driver can choose to accept or decline the passenger. One of the main features of the tablet PC is that it can support a multitude of users at the same time. Ideally placed at a popular location so as to enjoy as much exposure as possible to the public, the tablet PC allows passengers to search for an ad hoc lift with relative ease. A user can log in using our fingerprint reader and following the intuitive interface. If another user is currently making use of a system, your thread will still be searching for updates and will light up if a notification from a driver has been received. Time to delve into the technicalities of the project. What exactly do we use to churn out such a solution? As we said earlier, we have made use of 15 of Microsoft technologies, from fingerprint reading to Bing Maps to web services. We've pulled out all the stops to ensure that our project is as scalable and as efficient as possible. Starting from the back end of the system, we have the database and the Windows service. Our relational database runs MS SQL Server 2008 and is only accessible through web services, the website and the Windows service. We have chosen to use LinkQ in order to avoid attacks such as SQL injections, and the bulk of our server is manipulated using stored procedures for fast searching and to check for notifications. We have also created a Windows service which runs on the database server, which periodically executes maintenance, such as removing timed out users and cleaning up data. It is also directly responsible for running our matchmaking stored procedures. Our web service is defined using WSDL and is able to accept connections from any application, allowing us to scale up the system in a relatively simple manner. So, now comes the million-dollar question. What benefits does our system offer to the world at large? In order to answer this question, we are going to take the three main perspectives: the user, the business owner, and the government. From a user's standpoint, it means that you can now find a lift safely and in time for work, or else receive adequate compensation for offering your vehicle up for public carpooling, apart from that warm feeling inside. From a business point of view, it's as simple as installing a terminal at your workplace. Your employees can make use of our services free of charge. It's as simple as signing up to our website for free or creating an account on the terminal. Studies have shown employees who use carpooling to be less stressed and more motivated towards their work. From a government perspective, it all boils down to reduced costs on maintaining and repairing structures such as bridges, tunnels and roads, and saves having to create extra roads to cater for more cars. Less cars means less pollution, which in turn improves air quality and saves on carbon emissions. There's no technological breakthrough required. We can all make a difference, not tomorrow, not today, but now. It's already there, and it's as simple as PoolMe. PoolMe, driving people towards a greener environment. Thanks for listening.